I know that a lot of people who are tuning in are going to say, well, what's the difference, right? What's the difference between me paying somebody directly and me dealing with this company? Could you, just give us a bit more information as to why not use a freelancer, right? If is nearshoring and freelancing the same thing? Tell us more about that.
Good. First, I wouldn't advise not to use freelancers. I mean, I'm not in that position. I mean, even to clients of ours, if they come over and they are hesitant, we tend to be asking some questions to understand if they really need a vendor, or maybe the freelancing model might be a fit for them. When it comes to freelancers, I think the most tricky part is that you deal with the individuals, not the company. And the liability and responsibility would be exactly the same as this model operates, right?
Yeah.
If you are working with a freelancer, you may be very lucky in getting an amazing person. And of course, you would be happy not to be paying any extras to a vendor in between of your company and the actually executor, freelancer. On the other hand, the freelancer himself might be in a good need for some environment or maybe some process that we as the vendor and supplier are providing. And in this case, the freelancer might be, for some companies in some models, might be more effective within our ecosystem than working directly. That's the freelancer's need.
Yeah.
Maybe the company who comes to us as a vendor, they want to ensure intellectual property handling, for example.
Yeah.
They want to ensure there is a proper tracking of what is actually happening on the freelancer side without, screen capturing or things like that. But they still want to be ensuring that this freelancer is physically at his desk, if it's an office, or is reporting in details on what exactly has been done, or maybe they does the code commits, I don't know, twice a day, for example. It all comes from perspective of what the client might be willing to get and willing to receive as a service. Because if the service is just a person who sits somewhere and does some job, freelancer might be perfect.
Yeah.
But what happens if a freelancer gets sick, if freelancer needs more money, but the wage doesn't allow him to earn more money? What happens if some richer client comes over to this freelancer and proposes a little bit higher pay or maybe a more interesting project? Will the client suffer from this kind of risk, so to say, or if freelancer decides to leave? And what would a vendor like ourselves do on such matters? Of course, we are put and we are designed in a way that we got to be taking care of 3 R's of what we say are parts of nearshoring: relationships with the client, retention of the developers, and recruiting for the developers for the new team as it is. We provide this service with this specific value. So comparing us and the freelancers, the potential client needs to keep in mind whether or not they are in need for these specific items that we are offering. And they got to be asking the vendor, potential vendor, why would I work with you and not with the freelancers? If the vendor is not prepared to answer, I think you need a house vendor or you need the freelancers.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you mentioned your 3 R's, okay? That was relationships, retention, and recruitment, right? Those three. Now, out of those three, which is the most difficult to maintain?
Well, I cannot choose any, to be honest, because it seems that they all are very much important. I can be saying purely from my personal perspective. I can say that the relationship part is something that I myself am investing most of my efforts into, just because, well, maybe because I have very good people in charge of other two. And on the relationships part, I'm still as a frontman of a company, I still need to be on the very edge of this and to be representing the company together with my partner at business development,
Well, yeah.